All right, everybody, we're getting ready for the Broker's Hour. Let's go ahead and get started here. Let me go ahead and start sharing my screen. Dismiss. Let me start sharing this broadcast to some of our YouTube people. Y'all give me just one moment, and we'll get started here in just a second. Well, welcome y'all to my home, and we'll get started here in just a second. Let me get logged on here. Let me share this. If you all don't mind, give me a moment. I'll start sharing this. Share this on to my Facebook page. Y'all give me just a moment while I get all this up and going. Okay. So give me a second. I'm getting everything ready for the broadcast. We don't actually, well, we're a little bit late. We're about 5 minutes late, but we're okay. We're okay. Give me just a second. All right, get this shared out real quick on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter so people know we are live. Shared in a couple of groups. Angel, leave AJ alone. He's not bothering you. Go sit down. Angel, go sit down. Stop that crying and stop whining. My dog whining. He just wants my attention. Whenever he sees me giving attention to anybody but him, he gets really, really upset. I've got a white blue nose. Actually, I've got 2 white blue nose pits, and they are they get extremely jealous when I start sharing my time with any place else other than them. So they get extremely jealous and become very babyish. And the thing about it is they're the meanest dogs you ever want to meet if you come to our property and they don't know you, but they are such babies, around me and my wife. They're just such babies. But anyway, y'all know how dogs are. Hold on for a second. Let me finish sharing this out real quick and get this out to a couple more places so the people would know that we are on and we are live. Share this to a group, how to dispatch freight from home. And I think that's going to be it. I've got one more place to share it to. One more group to share it to, which is freight broker instructors and trainers. Find that one, freight brokers, instructors, and trainers. There it is right there. All right. All right, let's go ahead and get this kicked off. Let me get over here to my Mika Chow. Hey, good morning. How are you this morning? Glad you're able to join us this morning on a Saturday. We have 4 people watching on YouTube, but only one is checked in so far. Y'all check in, say hi. Let us know you're here. Let me go ahead and get back over here to my excuse me, to my broadcast. Y'all, please excuse me. Get back over here to my broadcast and got it. There we go. All right, let's go ahead and start sharing. First of all, let me start my recording. All right, good morning, everybody. How's everybody doing? Hope y'all having a wonderful Saturday. I understand the day is, I think someone said the day was Martin Luther King Day, isn't it? I mean, it might be January the 15th. Yeah, I think it's Martin Luther King Day. So happy MLK to everybody out there. I want to thank y'all for joining me this morning. Of course, my name is Calvin Butler, and I am the director of the RBBS Logistics Learning Center, an actual freight logistics broker, agent, and dispatch agent vocational school here in Tallahassee, Florida, where we train freight broker agents and dispatch agents, and we offer something that no other vocational school or training platform out there offers, and that's guaranteed career placement. That's right, guaranteed career placement. Our students come down, they train for 2 weeks with various, instructors from different brokerage firms and state licensed dispatch firms and large trucking companies. Yes, all of our instructors are owners of brokerage firms, dispatch firms, or trucking companies. That's another first. And at the end of the training, the 2-week course, all of our students who graduate are offered positions with various freight brokerage firms, dispatch firms, and third-party logistics firms. These are all companies that have guaranteed to hire any student that graduates from our school, from our vocational school and our vocational training. Never been done before, but we're doing it at the RBBS Logistics Learning Center. So I'll give y'all some information on how to register for our courses. On-site course here in Tallahassee, Florida. The tuition is $7,500. We accept all forms of sponsorship. If you're sponsored by your church, if you're sponsored by United Way, sponsored by a charitable organization, you're sponsored by the VA, if you're sponsored by whoever is sponsoring you, or if you just got your own money, we accept it. We accept that tuition from any sponsor you may have. Also, we have lenders who are ready to finance your tuition for those of you who have meet the minimum credit requirements. 580 mid score, that's very low, and a debt to income ratio no higher than 40%. So if you fall in that category where your debt to income ratio is less than 40% and your mid credit score is 580, and you have no bankruptcies or anything like that on your, in your public records, then you're good to go. You can get the financing up to $50,000. I know that's a lot more than our tuition, but for those of you who want to start your own brokerage firm, this is a good way to not only get the training, but get the money you need to start your own brokerage firm. Aha. So you can do that also too. And of course, your tuition includes all your expenses, all your travel accommodations, your airfare. If you're coming by bus fare, if you're coming by rental car, we'll pay for your rental car. We'll pay for your hotel accommodations while you're here for the whole 2 weeks you're here. Pay for 3 meals a day, restaurant meals. Give you several options of restaurants to choose from on your restaurant meals. And we also pay for your 4 Uber and Lyft vouchers per day, so you can get around town here in Tallahassee while you're here. So without further ado, let's go to get started, because it is after 10:15 and it's time, and it's Saturday, so it's time for the Broker's Hour, our dedicated broker training. Now, last week, let me start sharing my screen. Last week, we went over showing you all. We went over shipper negotiations and contracts, and we also showed you all how your onboarding site should be set up. As a matter of fact, let me go ahead and let Damien in here. Let me go ahead and show y'all what we went over last week. We went over showing you all how your onboarding site should be set up. Ship with RBBS.com. That's our sample onboarding site. For those of you who are brokers and you wanted to know how to set up your onboarding site, this is what we did last week. So last week we went over shipper negotiations and carrier shipper contract. Excuse me for a minute. Angel, come sit down. That's my dog. He likes to antagonize my younger dog. I have 2 blue-nosed pits, father and son. They don't like each other, so I have to keep them separated. As you all can see here, he's just being a baby right now. Angel, okay, I know my attention is elsewhere. When my attention is elsewhere, he gets really, really jealous. No, Angel, you are not finna get up in my lap. Get down, please. Get down. Get down. Angel, get down. I'm not playing with you. Get down. As you all can see, he gets really, really, really jealous when my time is spent with other people. He gets really jealous, as you can see. So I have to let him know that I have to split my time up with everybody else and things that I'm doing. And if he's not getting all of my time, he'll go back and try to antagonize his son, and they don't like each other. So I keep them separated through through gates that we have in the house. One stays in one part of the house, the other one stays in the other part of the house. But when they get together, they just duke it out. So I have to keep them separated. And he likes to antagonize his son when he's not getting enough attention. Just like children. I mean, they're amazing. But he'll be all right. All right. Let me go back and start by sharing my screen now. Get back to the broadcast. I apologize for that behavior from my dog. Okay. All right. As I was saying, last week, we showed you all how your onboarding site should look. We showed you all the your contract, of how your contracts should be set up. And we went over negotiating, how you should be negotiating with the shippers to set up your shipper broker shipper contract. Okay. Every broker is going to need a broker shipper contract, because that's how you get paid. Okay. I mean, you can't get paid without a broker shipper contract. At least you're not supposed to be paid without a broker shipper contract. So that's what we went over last week. This week, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be sharing with y'all the things you're going to need to run your brokerage firm, like a TMS. I use when I was brokering the CNTMS, but we're going to go over how that works. We're going to go over how you can, within the TMS systems, you can set up your customers. You can set up your customers. Customers, by the way, are shippers. There's a reason why the TMS systems in the system, your customers, that's who pays you, are the shippers. And then it has another area for your carriers. Notice the area for your carriers is not classified as customers. Therefore, you should not be taking money from the carrier. Now, I keep harping on this, and every week I do the broadcast, I tell you all this, because I see more and more brokerage firms that deduct their fee from the carriers, from the load fee. That's wrong. You're stealing money from the carrier. If you're doing that, you're stealing money from the owner operator. That is so wrong. Please stop doing that, y'all. I know you all were trained that way, but bad trainers make bad brokers. Plain, no, I mean, that's just, I mean, there's no other way for me to say it. And apparently what I'm saying touches a lot of people, because some of the groups have banned me on Facebook because I speak the truth. Darren, how you doing this morning? I see you joined us.
I'm doing pretty good, man.
Hey, man. Hey, tell them, some of these groups on Facebook will ban you when you start speaking the truth, right?
Yep.
I mean, I'm serious. My account right now on Facebook is restricted because it's restricted. If you go to my personal page, and I'm gonna show y'all here what I'm talking about. If you go to my personal page on Facebook, I'm gonna show y'all something. It says that my account is restricted, so I can't share in certain groups. See right there, account restricted. Because some groups have reported, my broadcast, when I post my broadcast and stuff, they say I'm talking about them. I don't call their names. I just tell the truth. I just, if you're teaching these people to take the money from the carrier, then guess what? You're a thief. I don't know what other way to say it. Yes, it may sound inflammatory, it may sound harsh, but stealing money is harsh, right there.
Yep.
I mean that's a harsh thing. So if the shoe fits, wear it. If the shoe doesn't fit, that's fine. But if you are teaching these brokers, and you are a broker, and you are taking money from the carrier, from the load fee, when the shipper sets their fees, that's for the carrier. Now, when you come in as a broker, you have to negotiate your margin on top of that for your service of moving that freight. And we went over this last week. Okay, I went over this extensively of how that is set up, how you should be negotiating, and how your contracts should be set up with the shipper. So if you want to see that, go back and watch last week's episode of the Brokers Hour. It's on YouTube. It's free. Go back and watch it. Okay, but a lot of these groups and stuff that I belong to on Facebook, they took offense to what I was to what I teach. They took offense to what I teach as far as how you should properly structure your brokerage firm and how you should be brokering the legal way. They took offense to it, and they said that I was inflammatory and I was, what they call it? They said that I was what's the thing when you take someone to court and you say that you defamation of character. They said that they said that I was engaging in defamation of their good name. Well, if you're a thief, then I don't think you have a good name. If you're stealing money. Darren, how do you see that?
I really have to laugh about it. I guess that the few rocks you throw hit a lot of people.
Yeah, it hit a lot of people. Like I said,
and it's the truth.
Yeah, but you know what they say? Hit dogs always holler.
Yep.
Right. So,
yep.
So if the rocks I threw out there hit some of you all, hey, I can't help that. If you're making your money as a broker by taking money from the load fee, like if the shipper says, here's the load fee, $3,000, and you take that load and you put it on the load board for $2,800 or $2,500, you're stealing money from the carrier. Because that's not how it's supposed to be done. That's not how brokers are supposed to make their money. Because the shipper is your client, and if the shipper is your customer. If the shipper is your customer, guess what? That means your money should be coming from the shipper. The shipper is who is. Don't, when you run a store, don't your customers pay you there?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, I mean, if you have a car wash, the customers pay. If you have a car dealership, the customers pay. If you have a restaurant, the customers pay. So in your TMS system, you'll see where it says your customers are your shippers. Your customers are your shippers. So your money should be coming from the shipper. Your money should not be coming from your carriers. In every TMS system, You have a section for carriers and you have a section for customers. Those customers are the people who pay you. Those are the shippers. Those are the people you are servicing, right? And your service is to move their freight. And they pay you a margin, a fee for moving that freight. Don't take that from the owner-operator side. You should be negotiating your margin on top of what the carrier has agreed to pay the owner-operators. And if you negotiate your margins right, you should have enough money in your margin to sweeten the owner-operator side of it by posting load to the load board. If the shipper has a load on there, the shipper has a load that they say they pay the owner-operator $3,000, and all the other brokers have that same load. That's why you have multiple loads on load boards. All the other brokers have that same load, and they're posting those loads on the load board, and they're posting them at $2,800, then they're doing it wrong. Or $2,500, they're doing it wrong. But because you negotiated your margin the right way, and you got an extra $600-700 on top of whatever the shipper has agreed to pay the carrier, when you post load to load board, you can then take money from your margin, add it to the carrier's load, add it to the load fee to sweeten that pot, make that load look more attractive, add an extra $200-300 onto it. So when everybody else is posting that load at $2,800, you're posting it at $3,300. $3,000 what the shipper has already agreed to pay, plus $300 from your margin. If you negotiate a margin of $600-700, whatever the case may be, you take $300 from your $700, you put it onto the load fee. That makes when you post it, same load, going to the same place, same distance, same truck, same weight, but you're posting it at $3,300 when everyone else is posting at $2,800. That is the way it's supposed to be, because that gives you an extra incentive, that gives the carrier an extra incentive to choose the load that you posted versus what the other brokers have posted.
Yeah, we'll always move load like that, and carriers will always call you whenever they're in that direction where you have that load. So you will always move your loads like that.
Exactly. You can't help but be successful when you're doing it the right way. You can't help but be successful if you're doing it the right way. But I see so many people on Facebook and all these sites and stuff. If I'm posting a load and the other broker's posting a load, the same load, we got the same price. How are we supposed to make money? Because you're doing it wrong. You've been taught how to do this wrong. Well, the freight broker training school I went to said that's how it's supposed to be done. Well, we got bad teachers make bad students. That's all it does. Bad freight broker trainers create bad freight brokers. Okay, it is what it is. Okay, people they can get mad at me. They can say I'm throwing rocks, but you know, if you get hit, you're gonna holler. All right. If it's not meant for you, you're not gonna get hit by it. What I suggest to you is make a change in how you're brokering. Switch to doing it the right way. If you want to know how to do it the right way, join our platform. Plain and simple. Okay, because this is the only way I know how to teach, and the only way I know how to instruct. Again, Angel, leave AJ alone. I'm sorry, my dog is being very, very antagonistic right now to his son, because he wants some attention, and he does. But anyway, all right, let's go ahead and get on with the days training, because the days training, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be showing you all the things you're going to need to make your brokerage firm successful, the things you're going to need to run your brokerage firm. Now, one of the key things that you're going to need is you're going to need a TMS system. Can everybody see my screen? Because I am sharing, right? Yeah, I think I am. Let's go to YouTube and see who's joined us so far. We've only got one person who's checked in. We got 5 people watching, but only one person has checked in on YouTube. And that is Miss Mika Chow. Hey, Mika Chow, how you doing? In our live broadcast this morning, we have Damian Stevens and who else we got? We have Michelle. Hey, Michelle, how you doing? Feel free to check in. Chime in when you want to. Let us know you're here. Say hi to everybody. Hello. Is this your first time joining us?
For the brokerage hour, yes.
All right, great. Yeah, we have the broker training every Saturday, 10:15 a.m. until about 11:15 to about 12:15 or something like that. We have Styles Christian just checked in. Good morning. Good morning, Styles. Nice to have you here this morning, checking in with us on YouTube. On this great, beautiful Saturday morning. All right, let's go ahead and get into this. All right, as I mentioned before, we're going to be looking at CNTMS. A CNTMS, as you all can see here. Let's go to my dashboard. Okay, this is the what I had when we were brokers. Okay. When I was a broker, we had this CNTMS. I still use this CNTMS for my dispatching to kind of keep track of my carriers. So, but mostly right now for dispatching, you really don't need a TMS system for dispatching. It's nice to have. Don't get me wrong. It's nice to have, but you don't really need it for TM. I keep track of everything I need to do with my dispatching in my Square account. Okay. My Square back office, my Square account keeps track of everything I need in my dispatch. But I keep this account for broker training to show people how the TMS system would work for you as a broker. Now, with the CNTMS, you can get a CMTMS, and you can get it to where if it's just you and maybe a couple of other agents, I think it's like $49 a month or something like that, or $39 a month. For a premium plan. I downgraded to the basic plan once I stopped being a broker. But when I had the premium plan, let me see here. Let me see what the upgrade is. They have an upgrade. I can show y'all what it costs here. Give me a second here. Okay, premium features and billing detail. All right, this is the premium feature right here. Let's see what the you are currently have one user registered in TMS. See, now I only have like one user, but all right, with the premium system, your subscription fee is $79 per month with the premium. Okay, that's what it is with the premium. Okay, if you want to go to the premium plan, all right, I have basically just the basic plan right now. Your company is enrolled in the basic plan. Please check the features below for the premium feature. So with the premium feature, you get to add all your freight broker agents, and they have a login, and as they're putting stuff in, as they're putting carriers in and signing up shippers and putting them in, those are going to be listed under their login, but you can see what all your agents are doing. So if you have multiple freight broker agents or multiple branches like we had back when we had branches, we had about 79 branches scattered across the United States. So all 79 freight broker agents or branch owners were able to come in and do their own thing within our TMS account. Now, they couldn't see what the other agents were doing, but I can see what all of them were doing. So it's a great system if you're running, a medium-sized or a large brokerage firm. Okay, even if you're just a one-man operation, I would say just get the basic plan. You don't need, all that stuff if it's just running just a one-man operation or a 1 or 2 man operation or something. Just get the basic plan. Now, in here, you're going to be able to, see your loads. You'll be able to see. You can view loads. All the different loads or whatever you can view. You can search loads from different load boards and stuff. You can search loads, which I don't have all that in here right now. But if you go back to the dashboard, you'll see here where you can also, when you add a carrier in or a customer, you have your customers, you have your assets, and then you have your carriers. Now, your assets are trucks that you own. Okay, your assets are trucks that you own. Your customers are shippers that you have contracted with. Your carriers are the carriers who you are contracted with who are running your loads. Okay? All right. So if I go to my customers, I can see here where it says view my customers. These were all the shippers that I was dealing with when I was brokering. I dealt with some car companies, car dealerships, because I moved a lot of cars doing the auto transports too. So I had great movement with them. But as you can see here, I had a pretty good list of shipper customers. And when you think about some of these shippers were giving me like some of the regular freight type shippers. I was getting anywhere from 500 loads a day up to a few thousand loads a day that were that I had access from each shipper. So that's a lot of that's a good bit of direct freight that you're getting if you've got that many customers. And this is if to have a base of shippers like this is a pretty good base to start with. I had Barnett and Company. This where they were from, this right here. Had Crown Motors here in Tallahassee, Florida. They moved a bunch of cars. They sold about 600-700 cars per month, and every month they needed to replenish, or every week they needed to replenish their inventory. So they would go to the auction at least 2 times a week, and on average they would buy about 40 cars, 40 to 50 cars every time they went to the auction. Well, when they did that, those cars had to be moved from the auction down to what? The dealership. So guess who was supplying the auto carriers to move those cars? We were. so you have those type of things, those type of setup. Another one I had was Investa, America. They was steel. They did like they were a steel yard, so they moved a lot of steel. I had Inland Logistics. That was they did container loads. Those were basically just, you were moving the containers. You pick up containers, the loaded containers at the port. You would transport them and drop the loaded containers off at the drop-off location, pick up an empty container, and then run it back. Well, the thing I had with them, the carriers were being paid, they were paying the carriers, I think, $850 per trip. And it wasn't going very far. In fact, you could make a trip down, trip back, and a trip down again in one day, because it was from the port in Jacksonville, and it was going to like Sneeze, Florida, or Havana, or somewhere not far from where I live right now, which is in Tallahassee. So it was like about 120-mile trip both ways, going and coming back. So carriers could run 1, 2, 3, sometimes 4, make 4 trips in a day, and they was being paid $850 a trip. My margin on top of that, I was making a 32% margin. So basically, the margin that I negotiated on top of that, I was getting 32% on top of that 850. So 850 per trip, and then you do plus 32% with my margin for moving that freight. So I was making $272 on each trip. And those loads would run pretty much all day. And I had about 7 carriers that were running those loads every single day. It was the same thing, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So the carriers were making about, let's say, they could easily do 3, but sometimes we had some carriers who would do 4 trips. They pick up in Jacksonville, run it to Sneeze, drop the full trailer off in Sneeze, grab the empty trailer, run it back to Jacksonville, drop that. They pick up a loaded trailer, run it back either to Sneeze or to Bluntstown, drop that, pick up the empty trailer, bring it back. So that was 4 trips. So those making $850 times 4. And this was 6 days a week. Saturdays I'm included. So they were doing $3,400 per day. Yeah, $3,400 per day times 6 days a week. That's $20,400 a week. So you can see how we were making some serious money as a broker. Now that's not our cut. That's the carrier's cut. That's all for the carrier. That's all for the carrier. Okay, and that times 52 weeks in a year. There you go. Now, the carriers that I was running that through were small trucking companies. So I only had like 1 actual carrier, but they had like 7 or 8 trucks that they was running through our brokers doing that. So that small carrier company was making some serious money. And they are still running they still run those container loads now. And I tell you who else has that same contract, XPO. Darren, you heard of XPO?
I ran a load with them this week.
Okay, yeah. They are big on those container loads, just running those containers back. And it's basically just a flatbed. It's a modified container flatbed where a crane picks up the loaded thing, drops it down on the flatbed, they clamp it down, clunk, 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 run the clamps over it, and they take off. That's it. When they get you where they're going, the crane comes in again, they unclamp it, crane comes in and takes it off and set it down, and then puts the empty one on there and clamp it down. Then they run it back. I mean, it's literally, that's the easiest trucking job in the world. Right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they pay great money. Like I said, it's basically just a drop in the hook. It's basically just a drop in the hook. And it was great money. It's great money. Now, us as a brokerage firm, like I said, I was doing like 262 is what my cut was. If I'm not mistaken, my cut was like 262. What was it? Like my cut was like 262. Well, I just saw that here. I just had it. 406, 850 times 4. Well, my cut was 262. That was my margin. So I was making 262 per trip, times 4 trips per truck. So on one truck, I was making about $1,040 a day on one truck. And with this small trucking company, like I said, I think I had 7 or 8 trucks. So you can do that, times 7 trucks, and you'll see why we were so successful as a brokerage firm. Now, back when I was doing this as a brokerage firm, all that money was not mine, because as you all know, as I told y'all before, I went out and I got some investors to back my brokerage firm. That's how we was able to secure these contracts. Because if you don't have your financials I'm in place, you're probably not going to secure contracts like that with shippers. Because shippers go, why is my dog just whining? Angel, stop it. Okay, stop it. Really. You're going way overboard. You're doing way too much. Okay? He's doing way too much right now. But you're not going to get those types of, this is Angel. He is such a crybaby. You're not going to get those types of contracts if you don't have your financials in place. And what I mean by that is those type of shippers, they'll contract with you if you can afford to have enough money in your in the bank to prepay for at least anywhere from 3 to 20% of the freight that they give you ownership of. Really, Angel? Okay, Angel, get down. Come on, get down. I'll be done in a little bit, okay? I promise you. Get down. No, I don't want no kiss. Get down. Go on, get down now. Y'all, I apologize. My dog is such a baby right now. But if you got your financials in order, then you can secure those type of contracts. Well, I had a sports management firm and a law firm as my financial backers. So I was partners with them. So yes, we made a lot of money, but all that money was not mine. That money had to be split 3 ways. It had to split with the brokers, with the law firm, and the sports management firm. They each invested to the tune of $266,000 each. So when I started my brokerage firm, I had a just under $600,000 in the bank when I started my brokerage firm, because I had those financial backers. Okay, so and I talked about that too in the first part of the broker training, which is labeled "The Truth About Brokering." How you have to be set up to be successful your first year in broker. If you're not set up the way I laid it out for you, chances are you're not going to be successful as a broker your first year. Okay, just not. That's why so many first year brokers go out of business the first year, because they're not set up properly. They haven't been educated on the proper way to set their brokerage firms up and the things that they need to do. Brokering is serious business. Serious business. It takes a lot more to be a successful broker than it does to be a successful dispatch firm. So you got to get into some really like high stakes type stuff if you're going to become a successful broker. You got to go out there and find yourself some investors. You got to do it. If you're trying to do it without that, chances are you're just spinning your wheels, because you're not going to get with that. You're not going to attract these type of shippers that are going to give you these type of contracts. Okay. Another one I had was Frozen Cow Creamery. Creamery. That was a refrigerated shipper, and that was running from they're located out of Georgia, but they was running loads from Florida to Nebraska and back down. Lincoln, Nebraska, they had a contract with it was a shipper that had refrigerated goods that was coming out of Lincoln, Nebraska, and it was basically frozen steaks, seafood, and all that type of stuff. And it was coming all the way down. The trip down was paying, I think, $12,000 or $14,000 for a refrigerated carrier to come down. Now, that was not a straight shot. They had like three drops and 2 pickups on the way down. So as it was, they make the initial pickup in Lincoln, Nebraska, and then they're coming down. They had 2 additional drops and three pickups on the way down. They had 3, so they had to make basically, 5 stops coming down. You see what I'm saying? So that was an all-week journey. It took them all week to get from there down to Miami, Florida, is where the final destination was. Okay, so and that was about that's almost what is that, Darren? About 16 to 1,800 miles, almost, something like that. I think Lincoln, Nebraska to Miami, Florida, and with the different, they had to go and right off and stop here because they had to make different stops. So it was a good little trip. But the money was good, $12,000 to $14,000 just for the trip down. And then the carrier, I had to find the carrier. Another broker, a part of my job was finding that refrigerated carrier loads going back up to get back to the money load by that next Tuesday, because the pickup was every Tuesday. They would come down, they would drop in Miami on Friday or Saturday. Then I had to find them a load, that took them back or took them part of the way back, that paid them some money so they didn't lose money going back up. Okay, so that's how that worked. And I think my margin on that one was not as great. My margin on that was like 26%, 23 or 25% is what my margin was on that one. And so, but you have all these different. Then I had Marcus Wilson out of Decatur. I had these are just very small shippers. These are when you see just a name, those are very, very small shippers. I had Tallahassee Auto Auction. These right here were both car dealerships, if I'm not mistaken. Marcus Wilson and Peter, those are small used car dealerships. Tallahassee Auto Auction, that's the big auction here in Tallahassee. That was a good contract. Because that auction, they auction off a lot of cars, and anybody who bought cars from the auction and didn't have a way to transport their vehicles, we supplied the carriers to transport those vehicles. Okay, so that one was a good paying contract. Tampa International was our lumber one, and you can see here, some of these gave us a line of credit. Y'all see right there, the available credit. Y'all see that right there? We had a line of credit with this one for $100,000. That was inland logistics. That's that container thing I was telling you about. That was our line of credit with them. We had a line of credit with Tampa International of $20,535. And then we had another line of credit with TPS factoring service with a line of credit of $150,000. Okay, now a lot of you probably say, well, why do you have those lines of credit? Remember I told you about you have to have your financials, and some shippers wanted you to be able to do what? Put a deposit on what? The freight that you were taking ownership of, right there? Or prepay.
Prepay, yeah.
Yeah. 5%, 3%, 20%. Those line of credits is what we prepaid. You see what I'm saying? Because you had to have, so it was like it was like secured lines of credit, really. It was secured lines of credit. You know, in order for us to get access to their $1.5 million worth of freight or their $15 million worth of freight, we had to put down like 1% or 10%. You see what I'm saying there? That's how that works. This is the only way you're going to secure these big contracts like this. And so if you're not set up the right way, you know, and if you haven't been told the truth about brokering, if you got one of these freight broker trainers who just want to get you to pay the money to take their course, and they make it all seem all rosy and easy, and you never got to come up with any money, and yeah, all you got to do is get your bond and your insurance, and you'll make money. Not. Not. Okay? This is the truth about brokering from someone who has done it and done it successfully. Okay? So with these companies, you know, I had these lines of credit because remember that money I got from my financial backers, this is where that $600,000 came into play in being able to help me secure these types of contracts. Okay? Does everybody understand how that works now on securing these contracts? And you know, but this is your TMS system. This is what keeps track of your customers. Okay, so you know, I don't mind showing y'all this because this is what I did. You know, this is real. Now, I'm not one of those freight broker traders that's going to try to teach you something that I've never done before. Okay, I mean, no, that's not me. You know, I have a dispatch firm. Why? And I teach dispatching. I teach freight brokers. Why? Because I had a freight brokerage firm. Right? When someone calls me and say, "How do I start a trucking company without owning trucks?" Well, guess what? I've done that too. I have owner operators who schedule private consultations to get guidance on how to run their truck. How do I know that? Because I ran my own truck. I was an owner operator. You see, I'm not one of those, you know, freight broker or dispatch trainer who has never actually done this. This is what I do. I do this for a living. I don't just teach it, I actually do it. Okay? So, and this is how you're gonna have to be set up as a freight broker to make money, especially your first year. You know, you're gonna have to be set up like this in order to get these type of contracts your first year. Because brokers don't want to deal with you if you don't have 12-month seasons on your bond. They don't want to deal with you if you don't have a Dun & Bradstreet payday score of 92, and the best you can get is 100. Brokers don't want to deal with you if you don't have your financials in place. Brokers don't want to deal with you if you don't have at least 5 to 7 references that can attest to the fact that you've done business with them for 8 months consecutively without a break to the tune of $200,000 to $300,000 each and every month. That's the truth about brokering. Okay, yeah, you can go out and pay all that money for your bond, pay all that money for your marketing and all the other stuff, but guess what? That ain't gonna do you no good if you're not set up in these other areas of the business. If you're lacking in any of these areas, good luck on trying to get a shipper to do a contract with you. Okay, let's check in with YouTube real quick. Someone says good morning. I like that you got that money thing coming out your mouth there, Christian. But anyway, if y'all know, check in on YouTube. If you got any questions, post your questions on YouTube. I'll try to get back and answer them. But if you all are watching, check in, come over here and say hi. Say hi or whatever. This is and that, and let us know you're here. And if you have any questions, post your questions, and we'll try to answer them. And let's try to keep the questions pertaining to what we are discussing today. Okay, let's try not to get off track and go back and try to discuss things that I did last week, because you got all this these videos out there that I've done. You can always go back and watch them. Okay, they're on YouTube. You can go back and watch them. If you have questions on stuff that I went over last week, go back and watch those videos. They're in there. Okay, all right. So there is, so there were, that's where you have, these are your customers. These are the people that are going to pay you, your customers or your shippers. Now, when you want to add a customer, all you do is come here in the TMS system, you click there, and then you can add a customer. When you put in what branch or what department, like I said, we had different branches. And see, Darren Stevens was once part of our TMS system, and Reginald and some other people. But we had a lot more, but we kind of cut it down. So you can go in there and put in, who's ever doing it. They can put in that, whatever this and that, and then they can add a customer to it. Okay, so that's how you add customers. You have a shipper directory where you can pull up shippers in every state. Like in Alabama, if you want to pull up the shippers in Alabama, you want to contact them and see if you can work out a contract with them, you can do that in your TMS system. Now, you can see right here, you can just find some of these shippers. Then you click on it, and it, company name. Now you have to have a premium account to get this information. Now you have to have a premium account. We used to have a premium account. We don't have it anymore because we're not brokers anymore. So I just use this as a training tool now. But back when we had a premium account, once you get a premium account, you can look up these shippers, you can contact them, and you can send them your broker carrier contract or send them what I used to do, which made it very easy. This is why I tell y'all you need that shipper onboarding site. Right there. Makes it very easy. All you got to do is just shoot them, a quick little message or like the script, the text script that we have in the back office for you all as brokers. You can pull up that shipper's script that we have. You can not text it. You could text it, but you would email it to the shippers along with the link to your shipper onboarding site, where they can view all your credentials and everything about your company, and they can also pull up your shipper broker contract. That's why it's so important to have that shipper onboarding site. It makes life much easier. It makes signing up shippers and pitching shippers and presenting yourself to shippers as easy as can be. Okay? And we all like easy, don't we? Everybody likes easy, right? Everybody likes easy. Easy is good. Okay, so easy is good. Excuse me for a second here. Okay, let's get back over here. Now, so you can look up shippers and stuff, by the state, and you can kind of pitch them and send them your promotional material and see if you can get them signed on with. Here. All right, assets. Assets is if you view your asset group, view your power units, view your trailers. Those are all things that you own. Now, as a broker, we didn't own any trucks or trailers or anything. So you see, we don't have anything in there because we didn't own any of that. We was broking everything out. We went out and got owner operators to do this stuff for us. So we didn't own anything as brokers. So you're not gonna see any assets in here. Now, carriers. These are the carriers you had who enter into your broker carrier agreement to where they was running loads, and basically, we were paying the carriers. Brokers do not get paid by carriers. Brokers pay carriers. Right there?
That is correct.
Yeah. So, I mean, you all, if you look at this, you'll see how wrong it is when you take money from the load that's meant for the carrier. Because think about this for a second. If you are conducting business the way 90% of all brokers conduct business now that have been trained wrong, if the shipper is giving you a price that they will pay the carrier, $3,000, then you take $500 from that to pay yourself. Then when the carrier runs the load, you're supposed to be paying the carrier. Darren, does that even sound right? Does that even sound legit or legal? It's hilarious. It's ridiculously funny because because it sounds and looks so wrong, and it is wrong. But there are brokers out there that will argue with me up and down. No, we can take money. That's how we get paid. No, that's not how you get paid. That's not that might be how you currently get paid, but that's not how you're supposed to get paid. That's why you have all these old school owner operators that would tell you to your face, brokers are stealing our money. Because they are. They're stealing the carrier's money if you are operating that way. You should not be operating that way. Okay. All the evidence tells you you should not be operating that way. So why do you do it? All right. Now, I can hit view my carriers, and it's going to pull up all the carriers that we had a contract with. So as y'all can see, we were a pretty successful company as a broker. Now, some of these carriers had more than one unit. They had, some of these carriers had, a bunch of trucks. Here's a guy at Tampa. I think he was an auto hauler. This right here. This guy right here was one of my auto haul people. He was an auto hauler. Different, carriers act with truck lines. This one had, I think this one right here had about 15, 20 trucks. Anthony Towing Corp, Arrow Transcorp, Auto Transport. I had a lot of auto haulers because I was doing a lot of business with car dealerships and the auctions. Beta Bay Transport, Vance, Carrier One, Broadway, Chad, Nahar, all these companies were companies that we were contracted with who were running freight, who were moving freight for us. We even had a deal, we had a contract with Messer, as y'all can see right here. Messer, yes, we had a contract with Messer. And that was our biggest trucking contract, was with them and Norcor, this group right here. This Norcor, they moved a lot of that container and steel. They moved a lot of that steel and the container loads. Okay. River North, but you all will see some names in here that you all recognize. Messer being the most recognizable one that we actually had a contract with. Now, here again, this all goes back to your credentials and your reputation. If you're going to be able to get, first of all, in order to get carriers, you got to have shippers. Okay, if you're not going to get, as a broker, I mean, it's going to be hard for you to get carriers to sign on with it if you can't show them that you got loads out for them to move. That's obvious, right there. That's an obvious thing. That's true. Yeah, that's first things first. You're not going to sign up carriers if you can't show them you got loads for them to move. and as a broker, you definitely not supposed to be going no load boards, getting the other brokers loads and then split and then taking money off of it. No. That's a no. That'll get you. You should be sitting. You get. Ooh, yeah, that'll get you arrested. Okay, that's a big no. That is definitely. That's never broken to the 10th power. Right there. Yeah, that's true. And you have some first year brokers that will try that because they get desperate. So they haven't been trained right. They haven't been trained properly. And they get desperate and they fall into these traps. Oh, let's co-broker together. Let's do this. Going down the wrong path. You're going down the wrong road. That big warning sign says one way, you're going the wrong way. So don't do that. All right, just do it right. Do it right. Okay. Get set up the way I tell you all that you should be set up. Get set up the right way as a broker. If I know it's real frustrating going out and trying to canvas for investors, but I guarantee you, if you do it and you get your investors, then some of y'all said, but then I'm gonna owe all these people this money because they invested in my company. Well, if you're doing the work, you don't have to worry about that because the money's going to be there. I paid off my investors the first year we were in business. Paid them all with interest. That's literally almost 900 grand. Because some of those contracts that I just showed y'all where we were doing revenue with the trucking companies like $1.5, $2 million a year in revenue in some of those trucking company contracts, which means, and we will negotiate our margins on that anywhere from 25% to 33.33%. I don't think we had any shipper contract that paid us less than 25% margin. So to give you some perspective on that, if you got a contract with a shipper that's doing $1.5 million per year, okay, and that's the payouts of what's being paid out to the carriers for those loads that shipper is provided. If my margin on all those load fees, yeah, Darren, I think your mic is still open. Darren, your mic is still open. All right, there you go.
Sorry about that.
I don't know if you wanted to hear all your conversation, but your mic is still open. All right. So on one of those contracts where what we are paying out on load fees is $1.5 million. That's what the shipper's paying on load fees. And our margin, on our lowest margin, was 25% of that. Because that's the lowest margin that we had. That's $375,000 on basically, on a 1 year contract with just one of our shippers. You see what I'm saying? So when we have got investors' money, close to $600,000, and we got to pay it back with interest. Yeah, we did that. We could easily do it. Paid them back in the first year. Paid our investor contracts off, whole 9 yards, because we were doing that type of volume. And you can only do that if you're doing it the right way. Now, I know these numbers to a lot of you all are looking crazy, but look at the number of shippers we had, and if you average that on your average yearly with a shipper, and let's say if you got 15, because we had more than 15, 20 shippers, but let's say that times 15 shippers, $28 million a year. Now, our investors took their portion of that, because investors are not going to invest in a brand new company, first year broker, right? $266,000 each, a law firm and a sports management firm. They're not in it for charity. They didn't just put up that money for us and say, oh, we just like you, Calvin. We like your story. You came from homeless to building up this firm, so we like you, and so we're gonna pump money into your business. No, they want to get paid my brother. They want to get paid. They want to get paid. They're looking for a big return on their investment. So with that type of money that we were generating, when I say these people wanted return on their money, they're not looking for no 10% return or nothing like that, right? On average, my cut from everything, after paying back the investors and everything, my cut was about 15 to 20%. Because the investors, they took a lot of money because they're taking all the risks. Right there, they're taking all the risks.
Yeah.
So about almost 85% of the revenue that we were bringing in were going to the investors, because they're taking all the risks. They're the ones who got all the money up. I didn't have no money to put up. I had just came off the road as an owner operator. I didn't have that kind of money to put up. So the investors, they take the risk. Now, why would they take that risk? Because I presented them with my executive summary and my business model and plan, and showed them, how I could, had all these shippers, lined up. but I needed that backing in order to be able to get these ships. I needed to be able to prepay for that freight. And by showing that I can get this company and that company and this shipper and that shipper, you know, the lumber, the steel, and all that type of stuff, they looked at it and they saw what? Cha-ching. They saw cha-ching. They saw that they could make somewhere between $10 and $15 million. Almost $20 million. Now, that minus all my expenses and everything else that I was doing, this and that, yeah, I made out pretty good. I made out really, really well as a broker. But you're not going to be successful like that as a broker if you're not set up the right way, if you're not conducting business the right way, if you're not negotiating your margin on top of what the shipper is already agreeing to pay to carry. If you're not doing those things, then you are just nickel and diming it, and not only are you nickel and diming, you're stealing that. You're getting your nickels and dimes through theft. So stop doing it. It's worth a lot more to you if you do it the right way. I promise you it is. If you do this the right way, it's worth a lot more money to you. It really is. I didn't go from, in that, some of my early videos, you all see me starting my brokerage firm in a storage unit, a U-Haul mini office storage unit. That's where I started at. But I didn't go from there to where I eventually wound up by not doing it the right way. Okay, the way I'm showing you all how to set up your brokerage firm, the things you're gonna need to make yourself successful, this is the right way of doing it. Okay. Any other way that people are telling you this stuff, it is it's not the way to do it. Okay. Styles Cushion said, are agricultural loans highly profitable for brokers? Any loan can be highly profitable. I mean, Darren, you want to weigh in on this? Any loans are highly profitable because look, if you negotiate your margin, Darren, if you negotiate your margin right, what's going to happen, Darren? Darren, you still with us? If you negotiate your margin, what's going to happen?
Sorry, I didn't hear your question, Kevin. I'm actually in the building. That's why I'm muting back and forth.
Okay, I'm sorry. Somebody on YouTube asked the question, are agricultural loans highly profitable for brokers? And my response was, any loans are profitable if you negotiate your margin. Why? Because if you negotiate your margins, what's going to happen? I think Darren is real busy. He's always busy, y'all. He's always doing something. But trust me, if you negotiate your margins, you're going to make money. Because you can't, everybody makes money if you do it the right way. Because the shipper has these loads that they're making, that they're paying, a fee on. Now, some agricultural loads are going to be cheap freight, some are going to be medium range freight, and some is going to be high dollar freight, just like all other freight. Every classification of freight is either it has three categories or three levels. Cheap freight, loads that's paying less than $1.50, less than $1 per mile. Medium range freight, loads that's paying $2 to $2.50, $3 per mile, and high dollar freight, loads that's paying more than $4, $5, $6 per mile. All freight has to go. Let me repeat that. All freight has to go, even cheap freight. A shipper cannot make money just by moving their high dollar freight. A shipper cannot make money just by moving their medium range and high dollar freight. A shipper makes money by moving all their freight. And if you are negotiating your margin, whether it's cheap freight, medium freight, or high dollar freight, you are going to make money because you've negotiated your margin on top of that low fee. You can make money on cheap freight if you negotiate your margin. Because if your margin your margin on cheap freight should be higher than it is on the high dollar freight. Because when you go to a shipper and you say, Mr. Shipper, I see you got this much cheap freight, 6% of your freight is cheap freight. Another 25% is medium range freight, and another 15 or 30% is high dollar freight. Because your cheap freight is so cheap, in order for me to move 30% of that cheap freight, I'm gonna need a margin of 35%. Shipper may say, well, I can't quite pay that much. Well, let's talk. What are you thinking? I'm thinking 25%. Nah, I can't do that. I can't move 30% of your cheap freight, which is most of your freight that you need to move anyway. I can't move it at 25% margin. Let's try 30. Let's try the 32%. Shipper may say, well, the best I can do is 30%. Okay, we got a deal. For 30%, I can move for a 30% margin, I can move about 30 to 33% of your cheap freight. Y'all see how that works now? Then on the medium range freight that's paying over $2 per mile, you may be able to negotiate a 27% or 25% or whatever case to be. Then your high dollar freight is going to be closer to that 20%, 22%, and 25% on your margin. Because high dollar freight is easy to move. Medium range freight is kind of easy to move. The cheap freight is what's hard to move, so you got to have a higher margin. You should be negotiating a higher margin to move that cheap freight. And if you get the margin, if you hit your target margin the way you should be hitting it, you can make money on all your freight, whether it's cheap, medium, or high dollar. And your carriers make money because if you got a cheap freight load and you need to make it more attractive because you negotiate a higher margin, you got more money you can take from your margin to put onto that freight fee to entice the carrier to move that freight. Y'all see how it all comes full circle? That's brokering, my friend. That is brokering. Okay, that's how brokering should be done. If you're doing it any other way, you dead wrong. If you've been taught any other way, you're dead wrong. That what I just laid out is how you broker freight. Okay, that's how you broker freight. And get yourself a good TMS system so you can keep track of all your, your customers, your carriers. So for those people out there that tell you, well, I don't know what Calvin teaches. Well, I'm showing you right now what proof is in the pudding. Proof is in the pudding. I'm showing you my real client list. I'm showing you my real carrier list. I'm showing you the real deals. Okay, the proof is in the pudding. Okay, so if you're taking a freight broker course and they're not able to show you this stuff, if they're not able to show you their real client list, if they're not able to show you their carrier list, if they're not able to show you how they made money as a broker, then you need to get yourself a new trainer. And if they're teaching you any other way to be a broker without negotiating your margins, they dead ass wrong. For real. For real. Now, yeah, some of the stuff that I'm saying gets me banned on some of the Facebook group because I hit a lot of people when I start throwing rocks. But do I care? Nope. Nope. I posted on Facebook today. That says, can any other man fire you from your job? If another man can fire you from your job, then you ain't the boss. Well, guess what? I'm the boss, so I don't care what nobody else says. I'm the boss, okay? And if you're starting your own freight broker firm or dispatch firm, you are becoming the boss. So don't worry about what other people got to say or how they try to restrict your move because they can't. Because you're the boss. When you're the boss, you don't got. When you're the boss, you don't have to worry about none of that. I don't worry about none of that because all the stuff they say didn't pay for my home, didn't pay for my cars. All the stuff they say didn't start my businesses. The boss did that, and that's me. And I'm telling you all, I'm showing you all the right way to do this. And I'm right because it all makes sense to you. It all adds up. You cannot take 2 + 2 and make it be 6. You can't take 1 + 1 and make it be 5. 1 + 1 is always going to be 2. 2 + 2 is always going to be 4. Okay? If it don't, there's a reason why they say if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. Okay? There's a reason for that. All right. So, but this is how you should be brokering. Get yourself a good TMS system, whether it's the CNTMS or some other type of TMS system. Get yourself a decent TMS system. I use a CNTMS, so that's why I'm showing y'all the CNTMS and showing y'all how this all should, be worked out, how you should do all this type of stuff. Okay, so you have doc management where you can manage your docs. You have doc processing, doc management. You can pull up all your documents. These are from deals that I ran. These are documents that are associated with every deal that I did. You have documents that are associated with all these people. When you go through doc management, look at some of the docs and stuff. I'm sorry, the carrier list with my doc management. There we go. Doc processing, doc management. You can upload docs, that type of stuff. You can do your processing of docs, through each carrier. You click on the carrier, and then you can process your documents on each carrier and things like that. What else you have? You have accounting. You have accounting, all your reports, your invoices and bills, commission management, driver pay management, QuickBooks. You can pull up all this stuff. You can pull up all that type of stuff. What else you got in here? Oh yeah, you can do rate checks. You can do the Insta rate. Kind of give you an idea what the rates are. Let's say if I'm leaving let's say if I'm running low from Tallahassee. Now this might be a premium feature. I don't know if this is gonna pull up, but I used to be able to do it when but it might be a premium feature. Let's say Dallas, Texas. Let's say it's a van. And let's say add another pickup. Nope, we want to do another pickup. And let's do get the Insta rate. There it is. It gives you a breakdown of the different categories of rates and what the rates are right now. It gives you on the low end. It gives you a line haul rate. It gives you an all-in range. Okay, over here, I think you get a high, and a medium rate, but the average rate now for a dry van from Tallahassee to Dallas, well, that's Dallas, Georgia. I meant to put in Dallas, Texas, but either way, wherever it's going in Dallas, on on the low end, it's undefined, but your line haul rate on the low end, that rate is paying on average $1.66 per mile. On the high end for that lane right there is $2.96 per mile, and the medium is about what the average is right now, is $2.16 per mile, and it gives you the medium all-in range that pays $725.70. On the high end, it pays $973, and also gives you your fuel surcharge range from low to high to medium, and it also pulls up your best routing. It gives you a route to go by, total number of miles, all that type of stuff. Now, if you change this to, let's say, Dallas, Texas, I go to Dallas, Texas on this, and I do get rates. It's gonna recalculate it for you. Now going to Dallas, Texas, you see this gets a little bit better. On the low end, $1.98 per mile. On the high end, $3.18 per mile. That's on average what this lane pays. On average, it pays $2.33 per mile for a dry van on average from Tallahassee, Florida to Dallas, Texas. Medium range, all-in range, $2,185. That's what a carrier can expect to get paid on that run. Medium, that's what, based on all the loads they have ran in the last 60 or 90 days from Tallahassee to Dallas, they compile all that and they give you your low, medium, and high. So there you go. Okay, so a good TMS system is worth the little $79, for the premium, or you can just stick with the basic, if you want to. But the premium, it was worth it. If you're running a brokerage firm, go ahead and opt for the premium. Okay, opt for the premium. It's worth it. Okay, because you got a lot of great features, a lot of great things that are going to help you and assist you in managing your brokerage business. All right. Any questions? Any questions? Questions? Let's go over here. See what our responses are on YouTube. Styles Cushion says, "I'm gonna make money." Yeah. if you negotiate it right, you're gonna make money. Ain't no buts about it. Ain't no buts about it. If you negotiate your margin, you're gonna make money. Okay. Because if you negotiate your margins right, you can find carriers that will move it. Why? Because you got enough money to sweeten the pot on each load to make it worth their while. Actually, and definitely can make you more competitive on the load boards than all the other brokers who are doing it the wrong way. Okay, the right way, exactly, but the right way. All right. So, that's pretty much it. It's all I got for the broker training for today. I want to go over showing you all what type of TMS system you all should have, how it can benefit you. Now, other things you can use. I use Square to create my invoices. That's Square Business. You go to squareup.com. So to get signed up for Square Business, you go to squareup.com. Okay. And you can sign up for Square Business and you can create your invoices and stuff within Square, and you can have reoccurring invoices and all that type of stuff to make your life a lot easier. If you want to see how to do the invoices, go to my training video on invoicing for the How to Dispatch series. I have a How to Dispatch series, and the invoicing, creating the invoices is the same way you're going to do them, if you were a broker. But basically, you really don't need an invoice if you are a broker, because if you're doing it the right way now, if you're doing it the right way, you don't really need an invoice, because your invoice is going to be supplied to you by the shipper who's paying you. So you can create an invoice to send to the shipper if you want to, but if you got your broker shipper contract, that has a built-in, fee thing in there that tells the shipper how much money, what your margin is, and that type of stuff. And you should be put in their system to when you run a load, they automatically pay you. You should not have to send them an invoice. You can if you want to, but you shouldn't have to. Okay? All right. That's it, everybody. I thank y'all for joining me on this Saturday, beautiful Saturday. As y'all can hear, my dog is really, 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 really getting very annoying, because he being such a baby right now. Angel, why are you such a baby? Huh? Why are you such a baby right now? I mean, seriously, man. Seriously. I mean, is it all that? Why are you such a baby right now? This is him. Y'all see how big of a baby? Now he's trying to get in my lap. Angel, really? Okay. All right, baby. Angel, okay. He is really upset when I'm not, showing him all the attention. Really. And as big of a baby he is right now, if you're not part of this household when you come in this yard, this is the meanest dog you ever want to see. Okay, trust me. You do not want to be an intruder and coming into this house at night. Between him and his son, they're both white blue-nosed pits. They will tear you apart. But as you can see, he's just a baby right now. Get your baby self down. But they will tear you apart if you come into this house, and you're not welcome. They're the best guard dogs I've ever had. And I've had Rottweilers and Dobermans. These two right here, they work in tandem when it comes to taking a bite out of crime. They don't take a bite out. And you can see he's back there antagonizing his son, who looks just like him. And he's antagonizing him. And they don't get along. Not in the same room. So that's why I keep them in separate parts of the house. One guards the back side of the house, his son, he does the family room and the man cave and the kitchen. This one, he does the living room and the upstairs, and the dining room. So I keep them separated so they have their own assignments as far as protecting the house. So I'm not really worried at night when we go to sleep because they're down here and they let us know. Okay. So, but anyway, any questions? Michelle, do you have any questions today?
I actually do.
Okay.
I was wondering how the Tonu and the Tonu and the God, I can't even think of the word right now. I'm sorry. How that is affected as far as the brokers, when they call in and the driver is going to be stuck for a while and they're going to get paid for that. How does that affect the brokers?
All right. Delays are always part of the business. Okay. Communication is the key. You should always have a line of communications with your carrier. Now this is where dispatchers become very important. This is where dispatchers become very important because if a carrier and here's the reason why I think carriers, owner operators need dispatchers, because an owner operator is not going to always be able to just stop doing what he's doing to call a broker. Right? If you're in traffic, get in an accident, if you get delayed, all the other stuff, right?
Calvin, not to cut you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Did she say Tono?
Yeah,
for the carrier.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, Tono and what you call it, detention is two different things.
Yeah, detention pay and Tono is two different things. Detention pay is when a carrier gets hung up at a shipper and it's taking a long time to load or unload.
Right.
Okay. Darryl, you want to continue, Darryl?
Yeah. Well. Yeah. Tono is what when a carrier go to a location and the load is not ready or on his way, the load is canceled. 'Cause that happened to me this week as well. My driver reached at the location and there was another driver already there picking up the same load. So that's what really Tono is.
Yeah. And how do you cut down on that?
Well, the broker has to be the one who call you and tell you, hey, the load is not ready or sorry. When the driver's already on his way, so they'll just pay you that Tono.
Exactly. Now, my very first comment to that was what? Communication is the key. If you do not have good communication between your broker and the carrier, or the broker and the dispatcher, that's why I say dispatchers are worth their weight in gold. Because if you got a good dispatch, if a carrier has a good dispatcher, right, that dispatcher is gonna be in touch with that broker, and that dispatcher is gonna know the right things to ask the broker. They're gonna intuitively just know the right things to ask a broker or things to quiz them on, and and stuff you need to cover in what. What is this now? If detention pay, Tonu, and all that type of stuff, it needs to be written down where?
The rate card.
Rate card. It needs to be in the rate card. Okay, this is why I said communication. But that rate con, that's your communication. That rate con kind of is your all-in-one resolution to anything that may come up or happen. And if you got a good dispatcher, when they get that rate con from the broker and they're reading that rate con and it does not include this stuff, that dispatcher is going to contact us. Okay, well, now what happens if I get, if we have delayed? What type of detention pay? What happens if the load is not ready? What happens if the load got canceled and my carrier didn't know it? What happens with all that and you didn't call us? This and that. All that should be outlined in the rate con on how it's paid out, what percentage of pay, what you get if this happens, if that happens, if that happens. Communications and having a good owner-op business managers. That's why I don't like the term dispatcher. Okay, brokers are very important, but and this is why I hate when a lot of owner-operators try to downplay the role of a dispatcher. Because when you get to one of those situations, when you get that type of situation, then you realize, well, damn, well, if I had a good dispatcher, I'm gonna hear that. You see what I'm saying? This is why I like the term owner-op businessman. I've never really liked that term dispatcher. Because all a dispatcher does is what? Just sends you out. You know, but a true business title, a more appropriate title is owner-op business manager. If a dispatcher is doing the job correctly, they are just as important. Just to have their position in the hierarchy of how things run is just as important and just as prominent as a broker. And I've never understood why some brokers don't like dispatchers. Now, I'm gonna tell you the reason why some brokers don't like dispatchers. Why a lot of brokers don't like dispatchers. Because a lot of brokers, they're collecting their money like a dispatcher. They're doing it the wrong way. They collect their money from the carrier. So quite naturally, they have something against dispatchers who are supposed to collect their money from the carrier. See, they think dispatchers are stepping on their toes when actually it's the reverse. They're stepping on the dispatcher toes. Because if a broker was doing their job correctly, what the dispatchers being paid by the carrier should not concern them because their money is coming from the margin on the shipper that they negotiate. This all goes back full circle. And it all is like confirmation of what I've just been, what I've always been teaching and what I've always been telling people. Brokers should not be taking money from the carrier's load fee. That's wrong. That's stealing. That's theft. You are robbing the owner operator. That's why you have a lot of brokers that get upset with dispatchers because they are doing it the wrong way and they are actually stepping on they're actually in the dispatcher's pocket as well as the owner operator's pocket. And they shouldn't be there. Federal Motor Carrier Safety Association, CFR 371-49.1 through 49.4 has specific guidelines as to who should get paid by who. Brokers are paid by the shippers. The bona fide agent, which is a dispatcher, is paid by the carrier that they have in a contract. So they are an agent or a representative of the carrier. Brokers are representative of the shippers. Okay? It's cut and dry. That's why all these challenges for the last 30 years that come up trying to make dispatching illegal get shot down every single year by the Federal Motor Carrier Association. Every year, DOT and the Federal Motor Carrier Association, they rule in favor of keeping dispatchers in place. Every single year. And Darren, am I not wrong? But every other year, there's a challenge that is put up to have dispatchers declared what? Illegal, right? And every year it gets shot down. Okay.
They should just put a block on it where they can't bring that conversation up again.
Yeah, they should. I mean, it's just a waste of time for them to keep doing it. And they keep doing it every other year. There's some type of challenge to it, and it gets shot down every time it comes up by DOT and the Federal Motor Carrier Association, because the statute is clear. It's clear. Some people don't know how to read it. Some people are lazy and don't read the whole statute, but it's there in the statute. There is a provision for dispatching. There's a provision for brokers. Okay, but communication. And so as a broker, when you are drafting your rate con, you should be mindful and have enough. What's the word I'm looking for? You should be mindful and have enough integrity to include in your rate con provisions for those things. Now, are you required to put those provisions in? No, you're not required to, but professional courtesy, professional integrity should compel you to draft that in your rate con. That's why if a carrier has a good on our business manager and that dispatcher is reading that, because it comes to the dispatcher before it gets to the carrier. Dispatcher's job is to read everything before they send it to the carrier. So they can find the imperfections or the inconsistencies or stuff that may be wrong, then they can address that with the broker before it even gets to the carrier. Okay? Did that effectively answer your question?
Yeah, for the most part, and a couple other ones that were actually great on the dispatch side.
Yeah. So
The part I'm also wondering about is, okay, say for instance this occurs, and it's already in the rate confirmation, and they contact us about getting their money. Am I invoicing the shipper, or am I needing to incorporate this into how much I get from the shipper for taking the load?
Well, your margin is set on your negotiation with the carrier shipper contract. When you do your carrier shipper contract as a broker with the shipper, here again, if it's not in the contract, it does not exist. Right, Darren?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, if it's not in the contract, it does not exist. So here again, these same concerns you have when you draft that. Remember when I said, Darren, remember last week when I said that all contracts are written in the favor of the party that writes the contract, right?
Right.
So you should never let a shipper send you their contract for a broker shipper contract. You should write your own contract. Okay? That's why I was showing you all that onboarding site that have your contract already in it. You should write your own contract because all contracts favor the author. Hold on. That's my aunt. Y'all give me just a second here. I gotta take this call real quick. She got some stuff going on. Let me page that. Pause my recording. Hey, Aunt Jerry. No, I haven't heard anything. I'm in the middle of a class right now that I'm doing. All right, I'm headed that way because I gotta take Junior some dog food. So I'll stop by. All right. Let me start my recording. Resume. Okay. But yeah, all contracts are in favor or designed to favor the author. So never let someone else write a contract and send it to you, because I guarantee you there's something in there you're gonna miss. It's gonna be in their favor. So always draft as a broker, draft your own contracts. Your shipper, broker contract, you draft it because you're gonna draft it that's gonna cover all your bases. You understand what I'm saying? So yeah, make sure it's in the contract, because if it's not in the contract, it does not exist. So that's one of the things that we went over last week about contract negotiations. That's why we harped on that a lot, because if it's not in that contract, it does. I mean, it can be as obvious and as wrong or as right as it want to be, but if it ain't written in that contract, it does not exist. Okay. Now that doesn't mean that a shipper won't say, "Well, okay, yeah, we're going to pay you, a certain part of your margin for this, and that." But you got to have all that stuff in your contract. If this load gets canceled for any reason beyond my control or the carrier's control, we are to be compensated X amount of money or a percentage. You see what I'm saying? That's all got to be in your compensation clause in the contracts. Extenuating circumstances, cancellations, delays, all that stuff has to be covered in your contract. That's why, let me show you here. That's why I tell you all to draft your contract within your what you call it. Because if you go to your onboarding packet, and then when you pull up that that packet, in that packet you have a contract, and you should be the one writing your contract. It should all be part of certain clauses. Let's get to the contract phase of it. New customer profile, application for credit. All right, see right here, that broker shipper transportation agreement. This is your contract. Okay, you got your rectals, you got your terms, your service broker, your receipts and bills of lading, if requested by a shipper, your claims. Right here, shipper must file claims for cargo loss, damage with broker within X number of days. All that type of stuff. Brokers agree to broker liable cargo loss, damage outlined in paragraph such and such and such and such. It is understood and agreed that broker is not a carrier, and the broker shall not be held liable for loss, damage, and delays. You see all this stuff? Delays in the transportation, shipper's property unless caused by the broker's negligent acts of omission. All this stuff has got to be in your contract. All other claims, security bond, broker, hazardous materials, default, indemnifications, assignment, modifications of agreement, severability, survivability, independent contractor, non-waiver notices. All that stuff has got to be in your contract. So that's why you need to draft your contract. Okay? You see that? That's why it's important you draft your own. That's why it's important to have an onboarding site that has all that stuff in it. Makes life a lot easier. It really does. Heads off a lot of problems before they even become problems. Right?
Right.
Because it ain't no fun going back trying to deal with stuff after the bomb already going off. Once the bomb exploded, you just cleaned up mess. That's all you're doing. You just cleaned up mess. You ain't gonna get that out of it but mess. So, you want to prevent that bomb from going off. You want to have that stuff in place in case something does happen. It's already dealt with. It's already outlined. There's certain rules and certain things that each party has to abide by and has to do according to the contract. All right. If there's no other questions, let me go ahead and check on my YouTube people here real quick and acknowledge them and thank them for showing up today, as we always do. Let's see here. Perfect. Someone said, absolutely. What's the onboarding site again? The onboarding site is shipwith RBBS .com. Let me give it to you here. This is our onboarding site. Is shipwithrbbbs.com. Hold on. Let me put that. Oh, come on. Now, I normally don't share this with people if you're not part of our platform, but I'm going to share it with y'all today. HIP ship with RBBS.com. All right, I'll share it with y'all today, but I normally don't share that unless you're part of our platform. Now, if you want anything else that's for our platform subscribers, you're gonna have to subscribe. You're gonna have to subscribe, like all other members, to get all this great stuff that we offer. Okay, this is why we have our setup the way it is. I don't really charge for the quote unquote training. The video, I give the videos away for free. Okay, I don't charge for that. People join our platform to get access to the live training that we have, the interactiveness, and more so because of the tools and the resources and all the other stuff that comes and the networking that comes with this type of platform. because as brokers and as dispatchers, we save brokers and dispatchers on average $400 to $600 a month. Because where else are you going to get, access to all 19 million plus shippers without having to pay for it? Where else are you going to get, as a dispatcher, access to more than 100 load boards without having to pay for it? Where else are you going to get access to 140,000 hours of operational training videos? Where else are you going to get, live interactions when you get to ask me questions and stuff? And I tell you, a lot of times my students just call me up. They'll call me up on the phone. Hey, I got a question for you. I don't say, well, no, I'm not going to ask no question for you. I answer the questions. Now, if they get to the point where it seems like it's going to go past a half hour or 40 minutes, I tell them, well, you need to schedule a private consultation. If you don't have the membership that includes 3 hours of private consultation, I answer questions up to about a half hour worth of questions, and I do that on a constant basis. But once it goes beyond that, I tell them, look, we get into the realm of private consultation now. You need to schedule a private consultation where you can block out an hour. I can block out an hour. I can do a Zoom call with just you, and I can kind of walk you through some stuff. See what I'm saying? That's what people pay for when they join our platform. Our platform is not like a regular training platform where people charge you for this information. We give out the right information. We do that for free. Okay. But if you want access to all the other stuff that we have within our network, getting access to our network of professionals, getting access to our consulting, getting access to our mentorship, getting access to our tools and resources within the back office, our scripts, all that type of stuff, our email scripts and text scripts and verbal scripts that we have for shippers, brokers, and owner operators, getting access to our profile form, getting access to all your documents, contracts, and your agreement form, getting access to 19 million plus shippers, getting access to more than 100 load boards, getting access to our logistics library that has every word, phrase, and term ever used in trucking. All this stuff is what ensures you to being able to earn $100K per year, either as a broker or as a dispatcher. Because we don't just give you the training, we give you the tools and resources that are necessary to ensure that you make money. That's the difference. That's the difference in what we offer. Now, if you want to join our platform, you simply go to our main website at theRBBSLLC.com or theRBBSLLC.org. I'm going to provide the link to our online link, our online training, where you can train in the comfort of your own home and get the access to the same things you see that some of the stuff that we use here today. Where's my YouTube channel? There it is right there. If you want to join our platform, you can join here. There it is right there. If you want to join our platform, you can join there. Okay. So and when you go to that website, it's going to outline for you all our different types of enrollments that we have. All our different types of enrollments. There's you right here, our online platform will train you to earn 100K plus from dispatching freight or broken freight, from home, and provide the online network tools, resources, and training to ensure your success. You get access to more than 100 load boards. You get access to more than 140,000 hours of operational training videos. You get access to more than 19 million direct shippers. You get access to every registered owner operator in the United States. You get access to our live training. You get access to our logistics library. Access to our network of more than 2,967 industry professionals. Okay. Our most popular enrollment is just $349.95 plus tax and a monthly subscription fee of $39.95 per month. And then you have the other types of enrollments that we have down here with a premium membership. We also have a veterans enrollment. And once you go to one of these, pages here, let's say if you click on this one, it takes you to it. You take you directly to that type of enrollment. Or if you want to look at the other stuff that we offer, go back up here and you see where it says several enrollment options available. To view all options, click the online enrollment. Just click right there where it says online enrollment. It'll take you where you can view all of our types of enrollments, everything that we offer, from our premium to our veterans to our individual. All of these are online, and to our corporate enrollments right here for, companies that have 10 agents, up to 10 agents. So this covers you and up to 10 agents, so it covers all 11 of you. This covers up to 20 agents, so 21 of you, and we have an unlimited. If you want to go ahead and register and pay for your tuition to attend our vocational school, which is located here in Tallahassee, Florida, you can do that right there. If you want to get your own RBBS Logistics Learning Center franchise, you can get it. You can pay for it all at one time, or you can finance it with 10% down. There you have it. There you have it. Okay, there you have it. We're going to provide y'all with the, so you got this, the link to our site, and I'm going to give you the link to our enrollment site too. So if you want to go directly to the enrollment site, you can do that to check out all the stuff that we offer here at the RBBS Logistics Learning Center. There we go. And there it is right there. Those are the two areas you can go to enroll within our platform. And you too can start getting access to all this great training and tools and resources in our network and things of that nature. Look, I appreciate everybody for joining us. I want to give a shout out to Styles Cushion. I can't pronounce this. I think it's either Ukrainian or Russian, but I thank you for joining us too. Catherine Huntington, thank you for joining us. I appreciate your input also. And Mika Chow, thank you for joining us. As always, I appreciate each and every last one of y'all for taking time out this Saturday to join us on our Brokers Hour, which is our dedicated broker training that we have every Saturday from 10:15 up until about 12, sometimes 12:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Don't forget to join us Monday morning, 6 a.m. from either 6 a.m. or 6:15 a.m. We have the load board report. That's every Monday through Friday with a daily review of what's going on in your neck of the woods when it comes to load and freight availability. I give away free freight every morning doing the load board report. So tune in for it. Come in, let us know where you have a truck at, where you have a carrier at, what type of trailer they have, what they want to pull, and I'll go and look it up, find it for you, and give you all the broker information free of charge, no dispatch fee or anything. I just give away, just giving away free freight. Just giving it away. So I do that every Saturday, every Monday through Friday from 6 a.m. till about 7 to 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Franchise training every Monday night from 7 p.m. up until about 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. And every Thursday night, we have dedicated dispatch training, 7 p.m. up until about 8:30, 9:30 sometimes. And every Saturday, we're back here for the load board, for the Brokers Hour, for our dedicated broker training. I want to thank each and every last one of you all. I appreciate y'all. Thank you all for joining me here in my home. My dog is ready for me to spend some time with him. He got upset with me. So he decided he was gonna lay down. Y'all see him back there being his little. He's soaking right now. He's mad because I'm not spending enough time with him right now. So he got upset with me and decided he's gonna lay down and just pout right now. But thank y'all for joining us. I appreciate y'all. I look forward to seeing y'all on Monday morning for the load board report. If you feel like you want to get up and join me at that time, if you are a dispatcher, you might as well get up and join me because that's what it takes. Those are the time and the hours you're gonna have to be up to work this business. So get used to it and get in the custom of it. So go ahead and join me. And it's some great training. It's some great there's nothing like seeing someone do it live. Okay, I can train you on the Thursday night training and go through all this, but there's nothing like seeing it done live, right? In the process, where I get a carrier on the phone, hey, I'm in Tupelo, Mississippi. I got this, and I'm trying to do this and that. And I go and look up the freight for them. And you see me looking up on the load board. You see how I do the bike haul searches and the reverse search. You see how I look to see if it's short range dedicated. I find a dedicated run, and I'm telling them how to contact the broker and be able to set this up when you run the same load every day of the week, what to look for to identify those dedicated lanes. You know, there's nothing like seeing that done live. Okay? You learn so much from just watching someone do that live. So I use that as not only just to give away free freight, but I use it to promote what we do. I use it to show you all that I don't just teach this, I actually do this. Okay? So you get a real live version of how you should be conducting your day-to-day operations as a dispatch firm. Okay? All right. Thank you all. I appreciate y'all. I'll catch y'all on Monday. Y'all have a great weekend. Bye, everybody. Thanks, Michelle. Thanks, Darren. I'll see you all next time. Bye, everybody.
No problem.